we call it common law. All these old cases, you should think about reading law like reading the Bible. Like all of them have some sort of moral and some sort of story to them, and you're supposed to try to suss out the moral lesson, right? The guiding principle. For intentional torts, which is what's being covered here, there is a primary element of intent. Now, law has two systems of interpreting law. There is elements, and then there's factors, right? So elements, I want you to think, if this is going to get a little dark, I want you to think of elements as all the prerequisites have to be met in order for something to occur. The easiest way to think about it is, in order to be, under normal circumstances, in order to be alive, you have to have all your organs working, right? Like, if your brain doesn't work, unless you have some sort of, life support system, which we're not going to talk about that right now, unless you have some sort of life support system, you're not going to make it, right? If your heart stops working and there isn't some sort of intervention, you're not going to remain alive. In order to be alive, you need everything working. You need your heart working, you need your brain working, you need all your organs working. Factors are, I don't want to say they're nice to haves. They are a balance of things, right? Meaning, you can have all these things that you consider, but you don't have to have all of them, and not all of them are equally important. You can be missing one or two. One of them can be very much there, and another one might not be present at all. And you can have one that is just so overwhelming that you change your mind for just that one thing. The easiest way that I want you to think about factors is in the context of like dating, right? Now, some people have an elemental way of looking at dating, like, they must be this, they must be that, they must have this, and if they don't have all those things, and if it's not perfectly to that criteria, it's not going to happen. But most people kind of balance things out, right? So maybe they're really, really nice, and that's really valuable to you. Or in some cases, maybe they're really attractive, right? And they may be so attractive that it just outweighs all the other things that you look at. Maybe finances are a thing, or education, or all the other things that we look at, right? Like, these are all factors. Meaning, if you're missing one of them, maybe it's not that big of a deal because you made up for it in other places, right? Or you have one thing that is just so good that that's enough. Maybe you are really, really comfortable with them because you grew up with them and you're really close with them, and that's enough. You don't care what their profession is, you don't care about their education, you don't care about whatever other factors you might look at normally for somebody that you don't know, right? So those are factors. So intent in tort law is an element. If there is no intent under an intentional tort, then it didn't happen, basically. The case fails. And so this defense attorney is saying, hey, there's no intent, so there's no assault and battery, which, is actually a good way to go. If you can show that the plaintiff is saying you intentionally did this, and the defense attorney is able to show, hey, actually there was no intent, and you can't show that the person had enough intent, then the case fails.